everyone, this is Dr. Sarla. Welcome to Millet Magic. Oils are something that we use every single day in our cooking. The fat in oils not just add taste to our food but are actually very essential. We all think that fat is unhealthy, but all fat is not bad fat. Actually, fat forms the basis of which many of our internal organs like our brain, nerves and even many steroid hormones are made of. So it's very essential that we provide our body with good fat. As soon as we say good oil, the first thing that comes to most of our minds is olive oil. But is olive oil actually entirely olive oil? The packets which we see, the bottles which we buy in the supermarket look crystal clear. But are they really pure? Which are the oils which we should actually consume? And what role do these oils have to help conditions like autism, mental retardation, cerebral palsy, other nerve diseases and thyroid patients? These are the questions we are going to be answering today in conversation with Dr. Khalid. So other than the fact that the plastic packets or the plastic bottles in which we are buying the oils, the plastic itself is harmful, other than that fact, what is the problem with the existing scenario of oils in the market today?
Most important problem with the oils that we are using presently, the whole human race, is that it has become artificial in the sense that they are not natural oils. Earlier we used to have the oils extracted from the natural materials, but in the name of standardization, in the name of centralizing, in the name of quality control, the corporate companies have taken over the oil production and distribution. In doing so, they have managed to actually make the oils artificial. So they may be saying us, they are giving us olive oil, but we really do not think or cannot assume that it is olive oil, because there is a lot of diesel and petrol products. When the diesel and petrol are produced, there is enough oil, mineral oil produced. So
when the oil is distilled,
yes,
after extraction
yes,
from
yes,
underground,
yes,
it has to be distilled and
the
separated.
refinery
Yeah.
processes.
Yeah.
What happens is above octane, you have the diesel and petrol, and below octane,
Which are used as
which are
fuel.
fuel.
Yeah. Okay.
So anything that cannot be used as fuel is left over. Basically, they are below octane. There's carbon 8 units below that. They are all actually form a mineral oil which is very transparent. And this oil is amenable for further modifications by chemicals, and then you can make olive oil out of it, you can make coconut oil, you can make cod liver oil, whatever oil that you want to, by adding particular chemicals, we can make it. And this is the problem in the last 30-40 years human race is facing.
So this wasn't the scenario when you were a child, when you were growing up?
Absolutely. When I was growing up, there is nothing like this, because the business of diesel and petrol came to prominence sometime, say 1970s, in that range. So since then this
Mineral oil has become a huge
huge byproduct of the refinery industry.
Actually a waste product.
Waste product. But then these guys have found a nice means of doing things, and this is the sad story of human race. And because they are not natural, slowly and steadily our bodies have been contaminated. And oils are very important, natural oils, to build our brain, to build the nerves, to have the internal organs. Some of them are made of fat materials. So since then we have found a lot of disturbance, and the kids that are born are facing big problem because the natural materials are not available.
So this is happening right when the baby is developing inside.
Absolutely.
So
Because
right then the
right then
problems
the
are
problem
starting.
So though the body has the capacity to screen and do everything, but then when day in and day out, these oils start falling in, and this is where the problems are coming from.
Is diesel oil mineral oil the only adulterant?
Nowadays, also the industrialized food culture, wherein the meat industry also picked up unnatural meat. I mean, like poultry industry, pigs grown in huge numbers. Especially after biotechnology came in, a lot of this unnatural meat production, be it cows, be it pigs, be it chicken, and of late many of these animals are being produced very large numbers. So that industry also is leaving its waste, which again has a lot of content of oil, which they fat content they extract and then are trying to adulterate into this industry. So this centralizing this production and distribution is very, very convenient for these corporate companies, because they are able to do that without anyone questioning them clearly.
But then how did this transition occur where in your childhood everyone was making their own oil, and now oil is equivalent to buying a packet? How did this
this is
occur?
Somewhere in the range of 70s and 80s, this company started slowly making inroads into the food culture of various parts of the world, because they have the agenda of controlling the market. So they started, in fact, advertising that local oils are not good, coconut oil has cholesterol, bad for your heart, and then groundnut oil has got aflatoxins, because some batches of groundnuts do harbor some fungal infections, and they have
only if it's not grown well,
properly, dried well. So one or two batches here and there, they catch hold of these kinds of bad things and then start promoting and advertising and saying that this is not good, that is not good. What is good then? Then comes the advertisement industry, and so these all things slowly and steadily entered into our lives, and then we are experiencing the bad effects of these things. In the last 30-40 years this have happened, maybe you can say 50 years. So it didn't happen overnight. See, I still remember when we were kids, we used to sit on the ghana, bull-driven ghana, for hours together. We used to, in fact, enter into what do you call, just transcend, because it has a nice effect of going round and round. We used to sleep sitting on the ghani, bull-driven ghanas, and they were the real oils.
So what are the bad effects when we consume these refined oils from the market?
Naturally, when the brain material is made, when the mother has a baby, from embryo to baby, the developmental stage, if you do not provide the right natural materials,
the
building blocks of itself are not all right, there are defects. And what is brain after all? It has to conduct the electric signals properly, translate the actions from that motor nerves to the signals. All these wonderful reactions have to take place, and the materials have to be right. We are nowadays seeing the autistic kids and all these kinds of problems increase, mental retardation, which was very, very rare earlier when we were kids or before us, because the materials were natural, and the extraction procedures, another important point, is that there were no solvents, there was no high pressure machines to extract. Nowadays you can extract the oil even from the brand, which is 0.5% or 0.05%.
So little
So
quantity,
little
but
quantity, they are able to
extracting.
extracting methods or technological advances, and hence the adulteration.
What do they actually use to extract oil and
Generally dichloromethane,
chemical?
chemical solvent, which itself is a bad thing, even if you are able to remove it while purification and all, but small traces accumulate in our body and things like that. So, but then who is the authority to say this is okay? Again, these corporate companies form groups of organizations and they say it's okay, let's push. So, these are all things, these are all the problems that have crept in slowly and steadily, and our lives, the kids' health has started deteriorated. And not only that, and these unnatural oils have a cancer causing conditions also can be found. So
how is cancer related to this?
yeah, of course the plastic materials that were carcinogenic things, and many of these lower octane chemicals can form to free radicals and then cause DNA damage. And
even the heat used to extract, the pressure and heat used to remove all the oil possible from the seed, even that is causing free radicals, right?
Yes, and also the nature of the oils itself can change, because see, what all fatty acids basically here and there some unsaturation, a double bond flip from cis to trans can change the nature of the oil. So they are very sensitive, but then we are not understanding
treating it
harshly. Free radicals have free pass to go anywhere inside the body. They can disturb the enzyme process, they can disturb the genetic processes, they can disturb chemical process at all levels. They can disturb the biochemical processes. So if they disturb the important chemical process, biochemical processes, then you have local problems. Then if they go to enzyme based disturbances, they can cause chronic problems, and then if they can go to gene level, they can cause congenital birth defects and all these kinds of issues. So having natural oils which are regulating themselves with all these problems eliminated, you will have a healthy baby born or healthy conditions maintained in the system. So that is the reason why we stress that natural products, including so-called supplements, we don't want to be unnaturally supplied. The supplement business is again another issue. Same conditions apply to that also.
So basically the free radicals can cause a lot of damage in our body.
Yes.
They can destroy the cells, they can even generate cancer cells
conditions
inside the body. So the refined oils which we consume today are directly, can be said, cause for the increasing rate of cancer.
Increasing rate of defective births, and of course there are many other reasons. These are few of the reasons that we are adding through the oil content. You go out and eat, some food infection takes place, then you get either vomiting or loose motions, and you are done and dusted there and then. Whereas these kind of adulterations in the food materials is not going to happen immediately, overnight. It is an accumulated processes. So slowly and steadily your damage is done, and by the time you recognize that the damage is done, the symptoms are appearing, it's a long time. That's how we are not connecting these things one to the other.
That's how people are detecting cancer directly in the fourth stage
or first stage, like nothing can be done because it's already damage is done.
And they ask the question like, I never smoked, I never had alcohol, then how did I end up with cancer?
And some people say, I don't even eat outside. We make homemade food only I am eating. But whether you are making at home or outside eat
The oils
is the
which we
oils
use
that
are
we are
the
using.
same.
Yeah, adulterated.
Processed
food is the same. That is the cause of our problem.
Even
That's
that
why.
is enough to
Absolutely.
have
So
cancer.
processed foods are very dangerous. That's why it's important you cook your food in your own
And be
home,
as natural
as natural as possible. Yeah.
What would be the solution? Like, we can not cook without oils. So
Absolutely. The solution is very simple. Just get back to the natural oils. So the whole human race has to start producing the oils. Of course, the problem has been compounded because the oils are now freely available at very cheap rate because they are producing in large quantities the byproducts. So human race has now in the last 30-40 years got addicted to using high amount of oils which are actually not necessary for us. And that has become a big argument. Oh, you cannot produce enough oil if you go back to natural. But we don't need that much oil. The
we can produce
how much
naturally
ever we
required.
need. So that much oil can be produced from natural materials like groundnut, sesame seeds, and different localities can produce different kinds of oils. So there is no one oil being the best in nature. Each area, each local area can produce. So in Italy, maybe olive oil is good for them, and in South India, it may be Niger seed oil or groundnut oil or safflower oil. So there are umpteen number of oils
In
which
North India,
in North
mustard
India
oil.
mustard oil. So and you go to Japan, some other oil. You go to America, pine nut oil. They have forgotten about all these wonderful natural materials, and all these oils do have wonderful materials that can give us all that each and every human body needs.
So there are many sources
Many
from
sources.
which we can extract
Absolutely,
the oils.
absolutely.
But why has this plant actually created the oil and kept it in our oil seeds?
Oh, the plants, yeah, the oil seeds. And so that means what is the basic role of oil?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually the new form of life has to come in from seed to a plant. So there is energy. So it is a packed energy. Actually, of all the materials that we talk of, carbohydrate, protein and fats is the packed energy, storehouse of energy. So if you have 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of fats, which has more energy, fats have more energy, calories. So it is to provide, because no one knows when a seed gets the right conditions to germinate and give birth to the new form, new life.
A coconut,
A
which
coconut
falls
which
into a
falls
river might find land
Absolutely.
or shore after 6 months,
6 months
after a
or
year.
yeah.
And
So
that time it needs
energy
to
to
sprout.
transform the required biochemicals that have to be. It is the storehouse. Not only storehouse, it transforms itself into the required nutrient things. So it is the
Until
base.
the plant can
start
produce
producing
leaves and have
leaves,
its own energy.
Yes. So this is the essence of oils. And similarly in animals also, the new growth, the nervous development, all that is the role of the fats. So fats are very important. So without fats, without the right fats, in fact, life doesn't exist. And in this connection, I may want to mention to you that there is a frog in Siberia which hibernates for months together. It's almost dead. I mean, all physiological functions come to almost standstill. But then when the first ray of sun and the heat hits,
so this hibernation is taking place in the cold season.
And it is that fat, that flip and flop of that cis trans energy which again initiates the living processes.
So now that we know that refined oils are not good and that we have to consume natural oils, how do we extract it from these groundnuts, sesame or pine nuts or mustard and get the oil into our consumable form? So how is the least harsh process in which we can extract these oils?
The best way is to grind at normal temperature and pressure. Say before that, let me take you back. Before humans invented the tools of grinding, what did they do? Did they not eat oils? Did they not require oils? They did. What did they do? They were eating the oil seed itself. And then slowly in the evolution of human history, they recognized that there are oil seeds and they started incorporating into their cooking methods. So what it means is that we could make just use oil seeds instead of oil, and then slowly they evolved to extract. In the initial stages they used to in fact press, then pound, and then slowly evolved these materials to extract. And all said and done, the human mind till recently didn't get into machines and harsh, unnatural methods. It was very recent, the industrial mechanizations and all. So, till then there were no problems. And in each and every continent, different ways of extracting. And in India, the systems have been very different, and we had wonderful minds, and we can go back and see the literature. This Ghani oils, wherein they were using bulls, and in north in India they were using cattle, these camels, and sometimes buffaloes, and I believe in North America they were using some horses, some flat-foot horses and like this. So every part of the continent had its own, but they never were unnatural. The extracting procedures and the tools the human beings used in that particular different areas, but they were all natural, and the extraction was happening at normal temperature and pressure. So when you started mechanizing, even if the material was natural, the mechanization process itself became difficult, harmful for the oils flipping and the cis-trans bonds of the double bonds. So this is the problem with mechanization. So because the pressure increases, the temperature, instead of being felt as 10 degrees, it will become 15 degrees centigrade if the pressure is high. So that's why we need to extract the oils in the most natural way, and till today the best way of extracting oils from the natural seeds is to use slow and steady natural temperature and pressure, and that's why we use in India wooden ghanas. That means the base is wood, so that the heat is not generated at all to start with. Even if it is generated, it is not being given to the oils.
I think many people of my generation would not know what you're speaking about, what a Ghana is. So here's a small video where we see a bull-driven wooden ghani where extraction of groundnut oil is taking place. The oil seeds are put into the hollowed out trunk of the tree and slowly pressed at around 1 to 2 rotations per minute for about 2 to 4 hours. At this point, we're around 30 minutes into the process. And now, after about 3 hours, the oil is extracted and is being collected into a steel vessel. It is further sun dried for 2 to 3 days so that all the water evaporates, after which it is transferred into glass bottles or cans for distribution.
So when you mechanize it to increase the speed and to extraction efficiency, you are increasing the RPM. Once you increase the rotations per minute, your temperature goes high and the pressure increases, so all the natural system is disturbed. So many people nowadays make wood garnish, but they use machines, and then they say it is cold pressed and all such things. But the real cold pressed oils are bull driven wood ghani oils, and this is what it is.
RPM is around
2
less,
or
3 to 4,
3
that's
to
all
maximum. Yeah, 3 RPM is very difficult to
with any
within
machine,
any
it's
machine
difficult to
reduce the
that
RPM.
much.
Yes,
So automatically it becomes
yes.
heated and
Yes.
with more pressure. Okay, so even that's the same with the small units which are now available. You can keep at home and make your own oil.
make
they say.
they also have the same problem of producing more heat, whether it is extraction by different methods and propellers and all this. Yeah.
We can only be sure that it's not adulterated with mineral oil or animal fat if we are extracting it at home.
Yes.
But still we will be having loss of nutrients and generating free radicals if we have our own household machine.
Yeah. Basically, the pool of the oil that you generate is not what is there present in the natural oil seed because of the extraction procedures. So, and it is an accumulative effect. It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah. So that is another important thing, and that is the reason why these adulterations can go on. If the effects are felt immediately, then we stop doing it. So this is the danger. So it's not that it is going to produce large amounts and then you are going to find yourself in being sick
next day.
It's
slow poison
slowly and steadily these things. It's an accumulative effect over a period
so
of
slow and
slow,
unnoticed that
unnoticed.
we don't even recognize
this is the point.
connection.
Connections. This is another important point that everyone should understand. And it's not that free radicals there are thousands of them, and then it's just one small damage, and then another time you use oil, another thing like
we
that.
use it every single day.
The effect just keeps on multiplying, accumulating, and so this people should be very clear.
Another question which many people have been asking is, we go through the entire process of cold pressing oils at a minimum pressure and temperature, and then at the end we're again going to heat it while cooking.
Yes.
So what's the point of doing all these steps if it's anyway going to be heated? Isn't the nutritive value going to reduce then, and isn't free radicals generation going to happen when we're cooking? So this is
while cooking it happens, but it is very small compared to the extraction procedures, unnatural procedures of this extraction and producing the oils unnaturally. Whatever little that you generate while heating, the difference is that you have temperature and pressure natural. If there is higher pressure, then lot of these chemical reactions are fast magnified. So when you are cooking, the pressure is constant. See, that is a big difference. So when you are heating the oil, you do get some kind of radicals, free radicals, but then we have, at least in India, we have figured that out. So we add little bit of turmeric or mustard seeds, splattering of mustard seeds. These are the techniques that we almost eliminate all these unwanted bad chemical reactions. So
what is it in turmeric or mustard?
Turmeric, it is a polyphenolic compound like curcumin, which is a phenol, which acts as
to absorb free radicals.
Just scrubs of all the free radicals very easily. And mustard, you have thiocyanamine or some other chemicals like that. So even our capsicum, pepper, all these are wonderful absorbing antioxidants. And that is the beauty of cooking at home and the right time and all these kind of things. In fact, these are all very well established systems.
So unknowingly in our cooking practices we have
incorporated healthy way of doing things.
Of removing free radicals from the oil. And
not only oils, even protein. many products like our tur dal or moong dal. When you are cooking, you do get the nitrogen containing damaging substances, nitrosol. All
even
this,
that is removed
even
by
that is
turmeric.
yes, yes.
So it's important.
It's
to
important
add
we add
turmeric
haldi. Haldi is very important.
when you're cooking
Yes,
dal or
yes,
when you're
in fact,
putting tadka.
some of the procedures while extracting, they do add the turmeric
even into the ghani.
into the ghani.
Okay. So even there,
Even there,
you're
you're
reducing
reducing.
whatever
Ever.
might be there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the first
So that question
thing,
is answered.
Yeah, right in the beginning, we have reduced it to a great extent the toxins by
Yes.
extracting it at low temperature and pressure, and even that which is
Not
there,
low temperature, room temperature,
Yeah,
natural
standard
temperature.
temperature.
Yes, standard temperature.
and that which is in cooking, we remove by our cooking
Practices.
practices.
By adding curcumin or mustard and other wonderful spices. Actually, spices have this great capacity.
Another question everyone asks, they want a one-word answer, which is the best oil for cooking? And
There is no answer like that. You see, every oil is good. Each oil is good. I would answer
its
still
own way,
in
it
its
has
own
its own
way.
good
It has good
properties.
properties. So, if you want to actually eat deep fried like puri or
bhaji.
bhaji or papad or so-called French fries or some such things, you want to use coconut oil. It's very good.
It's not
Absorbing,
much,
yes. So, and you want to actually eat along with the rice and things. Niger seed oil is very good.
You mean for
Chutney
pudi or
powder
pickle.
and pickles and things like that. So, sesame seed oil is extremely good. So, I always keep telling there is nothing like in nature
One is the
number
best.
one, number two, number three, like that. No. So you go to America where the pine nuts are available. Pine nut oil is also very good. And you go to Gulf countries, they have what are called badami or almonds. That is good for them. You go to Italy, olive oil is good for them. So there is nothing like
One
this is
good.
one good thing like that. So
So the more you use, the better?
no, everything has to be in moderation.
No, I mean the more variety you use.
The difference, different oils are going to satisfy different chemical needs of our body. So the more varieties, the better for us. That's why I keep telling, even in grains, even in vegetables,
Greens.
even in greens,
Dals.
don't eat only one and the same. And that is the problem presently,
Monoculture.
monoculture.
So is it enough to use these natural extracted oils in our cooking, or do we all need to consume raw oil on a daily basis?
No, only if you have certain disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or autistic kids, mentally distorted problems. I mean, you may be mentally all right, but then you have mental disturbances like schizophrenic condition, or all at a sudden entering into depression and mood swings. All these conditions can be equally met as a clinically medicinal properties, like Niger seed oil is very good in meeting autistic kids' needs. So that's when we advise these autistic kids to drink natural oil, 2-3 spoons daily in the early morning, when the system can receive the oils directly without much interruption with the food, and then help us medicinally as a medicine. So coconut oil is excellent for thyroid patients, and sesame seed oil is very good for pains and arthritic conditions and nervous disorders. There are like Parkinson's and things like that. So we have listed all this by clinical empirical studies have been done. So we have made protocols for all these things. So accordingly people can use. So Not that if I have no problem, I don't need to drink oil.
Drink
Directly.
It's good enough to use,
Use
the right oils
right
in my
oils
cooking.
in cooking. Yes, but also very good important use of oils is even to clean up your mouth. So now and then, once a week or so, you can
Oil pulling.
oil pulling. It's called oil pulling. And you don't need to do daily, once in a while. So many times people start overdoing things, which is also not good. So all these places, these natural oils have got curative and medicinal values. So, but then apart from that, everyone should use the right oils on a daily basis. And there is a misconception created in the long run of this oil. Oh, oils are bad. Don't use anything oily. So, sukha roti khana hai. This is not right. Every stage of our life, we do need certain amount of oil. Even old people need oil. Young boys and girls need oil, more of it, developing stage. So, it's that oils are not good is a wrong thing. Very clear I am. You have to have certain amount of oil in your food on a daily basis. Don't overdo it. The problem with oils is if you add oil, it becomes tasty. So you get addicted to the taste. So that's when you tend to use more and more. So there you need to exercise your control, judgment.
So approximately how much oil do you think a family of 4 should consume in a month? Approximately.
Different oils put together, all put together up to 2 to 3.5 liters.
2 to 3 liters.
2 to 3.5 liters, 4 of a family of 4.
Okay, so approximately per head it would be, we can say 750 to 800 ml of oil in a month?
Absolutely, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Just
can
an
go
approximate
just an
value.
approximation. But it depends on each individual also. It's an average and approximately. Yeah.
So how do these oils help in conditions like autism or retardation or for thyroid complaints?
There are 2 aspects to it. One is detoxifying the organ, which is fat content. So you need only a fat to remove the fat soluble metabolic waste, and 2, repairing the damage done by these unwanted materials has to be replenished. So the new cells are formed. The right material, the right fat material has to be supplied. So over a period of 6 months to 1 year, these processes happen, and the autistic kid becomes almost normal and things like that. And
so
the thyroid gland,
regeneration of new cells being formed when we give the right raw material to the body.
Yes, because we do know that 7 years, the whole body is completely new. All the cells that have been replaced. 7 years is the period. Some organs take slower. So skin cells replenish faster. Blood cells, hemoglobin, 3 months. Like that, neurons, nerves slowest.
Almost don't
regenerate or like that. Yeah, what is? But this is the process wherein the right material comes into play. Yeah. That's how it happens. One is detoxification, another is replenishing the new cells when they are formed, and that's how it happens. And we have seen a lot of clinical studies helping the patients, especially Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, convulsions, fits, and old age problems. These are called old age problems also. So if you are actually taking the right oils, your old age problems are also solved. Memory is better. Yes.
So how long should they consume these oils?
Till you feel good, till your problems disappear, and you don't need to keep repeating that. But make sure you are using the right oils in your cooking procedures. That's as simple as that. Say right now, I have never taken any oil, but then I have been using the right oil for our cooking. That's all that we need. If you are healthy, you don't need extra procedure, direct oil consumption. Yeah. Say a thyroid patient is there. a young girl, 24 years, has a thyroid patient. We advise her, take coconut oil for a week, Niger seed oil for a week, repeat this for 6 months. And once she is stabilized, her thyroid problems are completely.
She can stop
She
it.
can stop. And then, like naturally, we are using coconut oil or some other oil for cooking. This is good. I mean, this is way important for people to understand. And always moderation. Oils are, as you know, powerhouse, storehouse. So you tend to eat more, you're going to put on weight, and other problems are complications.
So I think we have covered in depth everything there is to be spoken about oils. So thank you for explaining to all the viewers.
Yeah, one point I want to make, the pickles, we talked about pickles. And it's very important, they use bull driven ghani oils
To make the
to make the pickles.
So thank you for explaining everything in detail.
I hope you start using bull driven ghani oils right away for your cooking, and do let us know which other topic you want us to discuss in detail, and we'll be back with those videos very soon. Thank you.